an objective with all the specific start, end dates, names, linking to initiatives, and other information, you can move on to the next step. At this point, you have the option to do an ecological assessment, if you notice the top navigation panel, which is linked to a specific objective. Each objective can have its own separate ecological assessment. We'll explain more about completing ecological assessments in a separate video. If we choose to not do an optional ecological assessment, we can move on to the next plan element level, which is level 4, in this case called a strategy. Once you have completed the objective, you can save and create another objective or move on to the next level of the strategic plan hierarchy. So we're going to save and next, and you will notice we have gone to the ecological assessment. We're going to pass through this at this time and go on to create a strategy. So at this point, as with all plan elements, we have to specify starting and end dates, and starting and ending dates must lie within the parent element that you will be assigning it to, in this case the objectives. So we will specify a date range for this from September 30th to October 1st. We would then give our strategy a name, and then we would link it to any available objective. In this case, we have one objective available. If we had created multiple objectives, they would be available to select from the drop-down. Just like the objective area, we have the mid-page navigation panel with details, analysis, current review, resources, budget, measurements, and fidelity checks. We will review how to use the budget, measurements, and fidelity checks in separate videos. Again, required elements are indicated by the red asterisk. So we would give our description for stakeholders of the strategy. Now, typically a strategy would have quite a bit of detail as you're describing some of the methods, techniques, and approaches that will be employed as part of that strategy. You will also be able to select a type of strategy, whether that be a program implementation or some other. There are a number of options in the drop-down, but there's also user-added option here where we click the Add button and we can give it some name that we wish, in this case strategic work. That appears in our drop-down, and then we can assign this to the strategy. This helps teams really think deeply about how to design an effective strategy. Every strategy must have an owner. You can also assign this to subgroups such as free and reduced lunch students or some other. For example, all students. As with the other plan elements, you can assign this to individual schools. You can multi-select a variety of schools as well. Now, beginning with strategies, you can also assign to a tier level, tier 1, 2, and 3. This is helpful in reporting where you may wish to take a look at all your tier 3 strategies, for example. You can also assign strategies, as is the case with all plan elements, to individual team members that will be participating in the implementation and execution of that plan. We can also assign it to graduation portrait areas. There are 12 areas listed, and we can assign to a grad portrait area. Again, from a reporting perspective, this allows you to sort and view your plan strategies based on grad portrait. Your default for progress status and alert status will remain to do and on track until such time that you review the progress on that strategy, and then you can change the progress status and the alert status.